Hey everybody, welcome back to GeezeRider. Today is a bright sunny Saturday morning and we're going to be going for a group ride today with a local hog chapter and going to a place called Bushkill Falls in Pennsylvania. I'll throw up a map a little bit later and get some riding in. So test some new equipment to the channel anyway. Not necessarily new equipment, but new to us, and go for a ride and just pan around a little bit, get you oriented here. And a little too fast, a little too jerky. Got new equipment, and this is just the first couple of bikes to line up. There'll be more later. We'll talk to you soon. All right. The roar of all the motors. We're obviously getting ready to take off, and a little overcast, but not too bad. We'll see what we can do for keeping the volume at a reasonable level. It's actually a very pretty park. There's fishing, there's hiking, there's obviously the falls themselves to look at. And you're seeing about a third of the vehicles in our group in front of me right now. And you wouldn't think the geezer was into it, but little Rob Zombie to help the ride go along. Looks like we're gonna ride through just a tiny bit of rain. No big deal. Twisty, turny roads coming up here. Different elevations, and we had a fair amount of highway riding, but this stretch is really very nice. So I'd do a quick little blurb about group riding in general. So keep your formation tight is what a lot like to do, with enough spacing to be able to stop quick for emergencies or maneuvers. Generally what this group does, tight but not overly tight. And environmental awareness. So a few things going on. It's a Saturday. Some restrictions were just lifted for COVID, so people are out and about who otherwise haven't been for a while. You got to keep that in mind. It's actually a NASCAR race weekend in this area, so that actually affects traffic in Mid-Atlantic area. So basically Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New Jersey. So we anticipate hitting some extra traffic and maybe some impatient drivers. So the point of mentioning that isn't to say, hey, if those sorts of things are going on, you can't ride. What it really means is you need to keep in mind the extra traffic. It might take you a little bit longer to get where you're going, and you're going to need patience. You want to make sure your fuel's topped up. You want to make sure that you're hydrated, just so you can have an enjoyable ride, enjoyable trip. Take some of the worries out of it. So I am talking in a pretty quiet voice. Barely can hear anything when I talk above the wind noise and over the radio. So it'll be interesting to see if it's still too loud or overdriven, distorted when we review the video. I may have to go to the settings and the center pack talk for the GoPro Hero 4 Black and turn the mic sensitivity down. But we'll see. And also check my camera angle for the helmet. So this is me looking down at my dash. This is me looking up towards the tree line, and this is pretty much my normal riding position. So get a sense of that as well. All right, leaving the park and heading south towards Delaware Water Gap. Again, I'll try and put up a link to some kind of website that describes Bushkill Falls for you. You can take a look and see if it's a ride you might like to take. I will tell you that the parking lot gets very full, and there's some unimproved grass and gravelly area, which they seem for some reason to want to always put bikes in and reserve the parking spots for cars. Bikes are licensed motor vehicles. Don't know why they do that, but hey, it's their world. You're just living in it, so when in Rome. But if you've got a show bike or something, you don't want to park on grass or gravel. You might want to go at a less busy time or make some other arrangements. So I'm trying to remember the sequence. This is probably going to be Ride Video 4, maybe Ride Video 5. The last one was Shut Up and Ride, where I literally didn't say anything, just put some miles on the bike and played some music in the background. Be interesting to hear your comments, what you guys think, if you would rather hear a little bit of narration, some commentary about the local flavor, or would you rather just watch the video and see stuff go by and maybe have some more or less calming music in the background instead of me blabbing like usual? Let me know. That is a pretty big, I'm not sure that's a Buddha. I think that's something else. That might be Sikh. It's pretty cool. Big temple statuary out in the middle of nowhere. So as you can see by the level of the clouds, we're up in the mountains right now, Pocono Mountain area of the East Coast. And I think we're going to drive out of this overcast. Where we're headed, we're not supposed to see any rain at all until tomorrow night. And even that's a low percentage, so I think we'll be okay. A couple drops here and there. So we started this part of the video in a much more rural setting, and what's interesting is, again, me being the geezer, I've been around a few more decades than most, and like you saw the sign back there a little while ago for the campground, this used to all be wooded, and you know, just this road wasn't much more than half as wide as it is here. And all this stuff is built up around here, but that seems to be just about everywhere anymore. Still pretty nice, just obviously a little congested. On logs and the hot dogs. Now it's like a cigarette outlet or something. All right, take a break here, get some gas, get something to drink, and move on down the road.